Hi! Welcome back to the currents.
Yay, welcome to the current 4 of this year already.
Absolutely. We have so much to share, right?
Yeah, I'm so excited because today it's all about blonde.
Absolutely. And as they say, blondes do have more fun, right?
It is.
Absolutely.
I know.
Yeah, I need a bit of blonde in mine as well. So,
and we have some exciting news because we have an update in our blonde products as well. And we're going to tell you everything about that as well.
absolutely. So, should we get going? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Born ready.
Well, let's get going. See you in a moment. Okay, so let's do a quick recap of the trend narrative. Now, of course, if you've seen all the previous currents, we've already gone in quite deep. So today, we're just going to focus on the top line component. So, of course, the focus here is spring-summer 2021. What we saw was a big shift in the mindset of the consumer from bigger, bolder and stronger to really focusing on the condition of the hair. And of course, you see that trend running through with the looks and of course with the innovations from Keune. What we had identified was 4 key trends. These trends were outdoor, indoor, back to the 90s, all about khakis. Think of the Keune semi-color nudes. Then we moved to fresh Hawaii. This is all about embellishments and beautiful details, pastels. So here, think about your glazes in the world of semi-color. Tropical old school, well, this is really a fusion of both fresh Hawaii and outdoor indoor. Preppy grandpa feel to it, so you've got a fusion of the both with ultra feminine hair. And then last but not least, my personal favorite, we shouldn't have favorites, but this is my favorite, it's digital flowers. This is something a little bit more abstract. Everything is worked on the principle of accents and this idea of dark with accents of or pops of color. Perfect if you think about semi-color in particular, think about the 019. This is really a great showcase. So that was a super quick recap. You might think, wow, that was really fast. Well, if you want to go even deeper into it, be sure to check out our on-demand links for our previous episodes of The Current. Thanks.
Strong and resilient blonde hair. Isn't that what we all want? Well, we made your life much easier by creating an update in our Ultimate Blonde products. So, of course, blonde hair is a very, very important service in the salon because a lot of colors we do in the salon have at least a link with blonde. And, of course, it requires a lot of craftsmanship. So this is why I love to color blonde hair. And we all love blonde hair, but we also love our hair quality. So therefore, we come up with the Keune Healthy Blonde program in just 3 steps. So what is it? We integrated the Bond Fusion technology. Of course, we had already the Bond Fusion. This is a product that you can include into your products, but now the Bond Fusion technology is already in the products. So what is the Bond Fusion technology? Well, this is a unique complex that shields the existing dissolved bonds in the hair. So we have the dissolved bonds that give strength to the hair. And this will make sure that it shields these bonds. But this will also create new bonds in the hair. So this will resulting in stronger and more resilient blonde hair. And that's what we all want, right? So what are the important ingredients here? That's the natural plant-based L-arginine. So L-arginine is an amino acid. This is also present in the human body. And the glucose, and glucose, that's a sugar. So those are the 2 important ingredients in this technology. And this will give you this strong, resilient blonde hair. So this will give strength even when you color the hair blonde. So if we take a look in our products. So where did we include this technology? Well, that's in our all-round products, so to say. So this is in the cream blonde. The cream blonde is of course a lifting powder where you can create highlights with, and a total bleach, but also color correction. So therefore it's our all-rounder. And in our power blonde. And of course this is a stronger product for the darker and the more coarse hair, but this is also an all-round product. But we not only included it into those powders, we also included it in the home maintenance product, and we come up with a new after blonde treatment. So this after blonde treatment, well, of course, if we color the hair blonde, then it needs a little bit more conditioning and nourishment, because yeah, of course, if you color it blonde, so therefore we have this after blonde treatment, and this is also integrated with the Bond Fusion technology. Besides that, we have the maintenance products. So in the Silver Savior, what I already mentioned, in the Silver Savior product, we integrated the Bond Fusion technology as well. And the nice thing about these products, of course, is that this will be your best friend if it comes to maintenance, because this will make sure that you keep your hair as cool as possible. And for the dinosaurs, maybe you all know, because before we had this silver enhancing mousse. So now we have the mousse or the foam back, finally. Well, this is in the Silver Savior range. So this has this very nice violet glow in the product, and this will make sure that you have even more cooler hair. But it is a treatment, so there's no hold inside. It's just a treatment. So after using this foam, you should use the normal style products as well. But I'm really excited about it, because as you can see, I love blonde as well. So today we're not only talking about the products, of course, because what I've told you about these products is we integrated in our all-rounders, and the nice thing is that we integrated the Bond Fusion technology already, so you don't have to put it in yourself anymore. It's already inside of the products, so it works faster. But the nice thing about the products is that you don't have any difference. So the mixing ratio, the lifting process, everything will stay the same. So these are the benefits of our products, and now we like to show you all kind of different blonde models as well. So I like to go to my first model with a really nice curly hair. So let's ask her here and to see what we're going to do with the color. So here she is, my beautiful model Tari. And Tari, she has amazing curly hair, as you can see. I already create the sectioning, but as you can see, she has a beautiful curl and she has beautiful eyes. So what are we going to do with Tari? Of course, today it's all about blonde, and my inspiration here comes from the Pintura highlights. Well, for sure, I think, especially if you have curly hair yourself, you've heard about it, because the nice thing about the Pintura curls or highlights is that you can do it freehand, and I love to work with freehand technique. So what are we going to do is what I already told you. I already created the sectioning, and what we're going to do is we're gonna follow the shape of the head. So I'm working my way around my model, starting in the neck area. So what is a Pintura highlight? A Pintura highlight is a freehand technique, and you really need to take a closer look into the curl pattern, because what we want is that we have this spiral kind of highlight in the hair. So this is what I want to create with this model as well. And her hair is amazing because she has this curly hair, but she has also very light color. So therefore, of course, will always work as gentle as possible. And I want to keep it more natural. So I'm going to work with the Freedom Blonde. And in the Freedom Blonde, we didn't integrate the Bond Fusion technology yet. So therefore, I included the Bond Fusion. So of course, don't forget your Bond Fusion, especially if it comes to lifting the hair. And especially with curly hair, because usually curly hair is more fragile. So therefore, always make sure that you integrate your Bond Fusion. If it's not already in the product, of course. So what we're going to do is, well, I have the first section here already in the neck area. And I'm going to watch and look how the curl pattern looks like. And then I'm taking just small sections. And I'm gonna paint my blonde product into the hair, starting with 3%. I always like to use this small brush because this is already a diagonal shape, and then you can paint your product perfectly into the hair. So make sure, of course, you can begin already a little bit higher, but make sure you work from nothing to more and more product to make it very, very soft, and so that you don't create a line in the hair. So like this. Well, of course you can work with your hands. I always like to work with a color board because I don't like dirty hands. But of course it's also possible to color it in your hands. Make sure that you clean up your hands in between before you take the next section. And make sure that you use enough product to be sure that the product is everywhere. So here you can see, here's almost nothing, and then when it goes down, then you see more and more product. And then I will just leave it like this and we'll continue with the next one. Also clean up your color board a little bit to be sure. And then you go to the next curl. So then here, this is also a very nice spiral curl. So this is also one I want to make or create this nice blonde highlight in. And this is how you're going to build up the whole hair. And of course, you can play around with it. So you can think like, okay, the sun is shining the most on the top of the head. So this is the place where I want to see more blonde. And in the neck area, there the sun doesn't shine that much. So you don't use too much blonde. So this is how you can play with it. Well, the nice thing about our Freedom Blonde is, of course, that you don't need to use foils. So therefore, I can just leave it like this because it's on a clay base. So it gives you the freedom to just leave the hair like this without using a foil. Well, now my model has quite light hair already. But if you have darker or more coarse hair, then it is a possibility to use some foils to give it a little bit more power and a little bit more heat, so to say. For her, it's not necessary right now, but it is a possibility if you have some thicker and more coarse hair. I love curly hair actually. Well, I have curly hair myself as well. You don't you don't see it right now, but yeah, I'm also have also nice curly hair. But I like to work with it because the nice thing about curls is that you always need to take a closer look in how does it how does it curls, what curl pattern does she have, also with cutting, for example. It's more freehand, so it's more freehand technique. It's more natural, more visual. It's not really technical, and this is what I really like about playing around with curly hair. So again, take a closer look in the hair. Where do I see this nice spiral curl? And then this is the curl I like to lift. Why don't we use normal highlights? Well, sometimes if you use a normal highlight technique in curly hair, then the end result can be a little bit more like you see some dots in the hair, if you know what I mean. And now, if you follow the curl pattern, it's more natural. So therefore, this really nice Pintura highlight technique. Make sure the product is everywhere. And just leave it like this. So I did use my 3% in the whole section, and in the next section I will use my 6% to make sure you create some depth in the hair. Here you go. So then we continue with the next section. So just following around the shape of the head. Be a bit gentle, of course, because I didn't brush it before, because I really like to see her natural curl pattern. And if I brush it, then it will makes the hair very, very frizzy. So then I cannot see the curl pattern anymore. So therefore I didn't brush it before. So make sure that you are gentle, because otherwise it will hurt her, of course. So, and let me see if it was correct like this. So, and then we continue with our technique, but now I'm using the 6%. To lift the hair a little bit more. And if you can see it like this, I will turn her a little bit. And then again, I will start from the root area until the lengths and ends, but make sure that you paint it into the hair. Make sure your color board is clean again, because now there was 3% on it. So here we go. So now I'm continue to the next one. Well, I'm going to continue my technique, following constantly the round shape of her head until I reach out of hair. So, and I constantly going to switch to the 6% and the 3% to make sure there's some more depth in between. So now we're going to the last part. As you see, I continued my way, working the same way as I explained, and I will turn her around so that you can see how it looks. As you can see, always the funny part with curly hair is that, of course, the hair usually is longer. So now I'm going to continue with the last part, the last section. And I'm gonna turn you back, so let me see. Yeah, so you can see it on the camera. So I worked my way up using her natural curl pattern, and I switched with 3% and with 6% to create some more depth in the hair. And now this is the last part. So after I finish this, I will let it process, of course. I will keep my eye on it to see how it develops, and if it reached the right color level, then of course I will rinse it. Probably I will rinse the back a little bit earlier than I will rinse the front, because of course in the back I already started, so it's already longer in the hair. After this I will do a glow service with a semi-color. And the nice thing, of course, with semi-color is that you don't need to be afraid of lifting your natural hair color, and it gives this really, really nice shine to the hair. The color that I'm using, of course, I need to see what color result we have after the lifting process. So this is something I will show you if the hair is completely finished, and of course I will tell you which color I've used. So this is the last part, and when I'm finished with this, then again I will let it process and will come back to you when the color is completely finished to show you the end result. So this is it. See you in a bit. So, well, of course I promised you to show the end result on my lovely model. So this is the end result. What I did with her hair was the pintura highlight technique. which is a freehand technique. And we did this with the Freedom Blonde with 3 and 6 to keep it as natural as possible. And this is really the sun-kissed effect you can create in the hair. So if I turn her around, the nice thing about this color technique is that you really don't see the placement. It is really, really soft and really, really natural. Of course, if you want to create more dimension in the hair, or then you can make it as bright as you like, of course. But for now, I think we create a really nice, soft, sun-kissed look in her hair. Afterwards, well, we lifted the hair up to the color level 9, and after this we did a glow surface with semi-color to create this really nice shine in the hair and to make it more this iridescent kind of color, because we used the 881 compared with the 822 of semi-color. And this is the end result. So I'm very happy. My model is very happy. And yeah, I hope you can create as nice colors as you can see here. So good luck with the Pintura highlight technique, and hope to see you next time.
Why, hello. Look who it is. I'm with my beautiful model, Tamara. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Jon.
Isn't she gorgeous? So, I'm so excited to be sharing with you what I'm going to be creating here. First, let's talk about the inspiration. So, we're going to work with a technique called solid lights. And solid lights really takes inspiration from the 1990s. What I mean by that is because if you look at the previous episodes of The Current, we've really worked with super delicate weaving techniques. Here, what we're going to be doing is working more with a much thicker weave. And what we're going to do is we're going to work with an isolated diamond through the top. So this area is completely left out. And we're going to work with a perimeter color. So when the hair is put up, it adds this amazing dimension. And I can't wait to show it to you later. Not to forget, we're also going to cover our glow treatment, where we're going to really enhance this with our brand new update to the semi-color. But more about that later on. So a question you might have is, well, what on earth are you going to use? And a great question indeed. Well, as you already heard from Daisy, blonde is all about condition, shine. And this is something that our clients are really demanding at this moment. So for 2021, we brought to you a new update, and today I'm super happy to share with you that I'm going to be working with our cream blonde. You may not already know this about the product, but it is an amazing all-rounder. Whether you're using it as a color corrective tool, or if you're using it for highlights or freehand, or even a total color, it is an amazing go-to. It lifts up to 7 color levels in 50 minutes, and something that I would say to you is that we work with a basic rule with this particular product: slow and steady. What do I mean by that? Well, it gives you maximum control throughout that development time. So whereas with some other lighteners, you can end up getting a peak and then the product drops, this is really stable. So it gives me maximum control throughout that process. One other thing, do you remember what it could be? What's the other difference? Do you know, Tamara? No, you don't. No, she's here just to look fantastic, and she will. We've, of course, included our bond fuser technology. And if you remember, Daisy's already spoken really deep about this. If you remember in the past, we would always use our bond fusion because, of course, blondes need to be beautiful. There is no point in making the hair blonde or lifting it and completely destroying the condition, because it doesn't matter what you do afterwards, it won't hold any color. So the bond fuser, that is going to help lift and still maintain the condition throughout that process. Okay, so something else I want to add. I'm going to be working with 2 formulas. So we've used cream blonde here with 10 volumes and cream blonde plus a cool booster with 20 volumes. A question you might have is why? Think about it like this. Using the 2 different strengths of developers is going to alter the lifting ability or the lightness. What that will do is that's going to by default create a slightly more dimensional result. The other thing is by adding that cool booster into the product, don't forget 1 booster for every 30 grams of your mixture. What that's going to do is that is going to help neutralize any of the unwanted orange to create a slightly more neutral result. So what I'm expecting to see is a slightly brighter but warmer blonde, and then a slightly more neutral, not really cooler, because I don't want to really necessarily make it cool. Remember, it's not a toner. What I want to do is create a slightly more neutral result. So when I put my glow over the glow treatment on the end, it's going to be really, really, really beautiful. So let's get going. I'm going to start through the side area. I really want maximum brightness around the face. This is really the money zone. We like to call it a money piece, but this is really where the magic happens. I'm going to work on a diagonal. I'm actually going to leave out these areas here because we don't want it really popping on the shorter hair, so we're going to go a little bit deeper. Keeping that discipline as we're working through the hair. Just a little top tip for you. It's kind of a cheat actually. I don't know if I should share this with you, but I'm going to. One of my favorite things to do when I'm working is actually prep the hair with the Keune style spray wax. It is amazing before you do your highlights, particularly if you're doing really intricate precision work, because what it does is it just gives you a little bit more control. I mean, of course, we're not going crazy, and I'm not using it to compensate for bad sectioning. I'm using it to help control the little frizzy flyaway hairs when I'm working. So we're working with quite a thick weave through here, and I'm going to start with my cream blonde with my cool booster. Pinch the top of the foil. That will just help anchor the hair into place. Make sure I've got sufficient product on it. I am going to just turn the chair ever so slightly. That's better, just to give me some more control. And I'm just going to take those ends, and we're just going to tuck those in. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not really too concerned about going right in that root area. And you might ask, well, why? Well, I will explain more later on when we do the glow service. I'm just going to double fold that. You can see it needs a little bit more discipline, so I'm just going to pinch that down. Now, something you do need to be mindful of, even for me, I'm really obsessed with foils, so always be mindful when you're placing it in under control. So we're okay here, but it could be a little bit more disciplined. So let's do it again. Not the same one, of course. We'll be here all day, and we don't want that. I'm not really going to be spacing anything out. I'm working more back to back as I'm working. Again, keeping everything controlled. And note also I'm weaving right on the base of the hair. So there we go, I've got tension. You can see I've got that control in there. Look at the distribution of the weaves. I think it's really beautiful. And here we're going to go in with our cream blonde without the booster. So remember, we're not really looking for any neutralization here. We're working with lifting what we've already got. And I don't normally double fold, but I'm double folding in this instance because the hair, although we have a lot of hair here, the hair is a little bit finer on the contours. So this is going to give me some added control with the anchoring of the foil. Also, as a little tip, you can always check on the fingers. Or on the palms, I should say. And we are not going crazy with the volume of foils here because we've got, these weaves are quite thick. So we don't want to go too crazy with our with the amount of foils. It's not always the amount that you put in, it's how you put them in. Oh, that was your nose, dear. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to continue working through to this top area. And as you can see, it's quite quick. We're almost there, actually. So I think we've got space here for one more. Let's turn the head slightly. Perfect. I cannot wait to show you the back because there's a cheeky surprise, right, Tamara? There's a little surprise for you waiting here, and I'm so excited actually to show you what we're going to do with this later on. Now, ideally, if I was doing this technique in the salon, I would be standing in front of the customer, not from this side, because it can be quite challenging for your control and discipline, because the tendency is to work this way rather than this way, so you can end up creating a drag effect with your highlights. But of course, if we did that, then you wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing. Now that would be a shame, so voila. Okay, then the last foil. And of course you can adapt this technique. So if you want, you could go, you could go finer with the weaves. You could even slice it if you wanted to. You could even, with the area that's left out, you could even do a freehand color technique to lighten up the ends. So, don't think that it's super limiting. And I think probably what I will actually do is I will execute a soft freehand technique on the remaining hair. We're not going to do all of that on the film because it's quite a lot. Almost quite a similar principle to what Daisy's actually working on. So really, working with the pattern of the hair. And that's the wonderful thing about working with freehand is you are really able to, sketch and work like an artist. So I think we will work with a similar kind of principle, but not too much, because I still want these foils to really have the pop and the magic effect. So we're just going to fold this last one over, like so. Let's bevel that in. Always just be mindful as well, when you are working with your foils, not to take the sections or have the fold sitting over the other sections. It will make your life really difficult. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work around the back. Let's just clip away the front just for some control, like so. Then I've got a really clear map that I'm working with. And if I bring this back, you see here, we're working in that beautiful point. It's quite clean if I say so myself, right? I can still see that spray wax, it does work wonders. Now, I'm not going to show you everything because, of course, I think you might fall asleep. I'm going to just put the first few in. And the reason why I want to show you this is because here we're working on an angle. Remember, the head is a round object. Gravity pulls the hair down. So we're working with the round of the head to create something that's strong, but still relatively organic. Well, through the back area, of course, this is hidden by this section here. I can go way stronger with this color. If I worked on an angle, I'm going to create a more diffused effect. What I'm actually going to do here I'm going to quite simply work with a straight up technique. Oh, and look, do you remember the cheeky bit I was telling you about? Look at that. She's just waiting for me to get my hands on it. Okay. Really simple. We're going to work totally horizontally. Just be mindful. Keep your sections really clean. I'm just going to put this first one in. And then I'll finish this off. Just tilt the head down and over slightly. Weave it right from the base of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift it up. Allow the hair underneath to drop away. This is not supposed to be colored. Don't worry too much about the distribution of the weave here, because with the nature of the undercut, you can see that also alters the effect slightly. And just fold that over, like so. Just pinch that in. And here we're going to start with our regular cream blonde, without the booster. So I'm just going to anchor with the root area. Then we're going to place the foil on my palm, like so. Like I said, if I was really focusing on getting right in on the root, I would probably actually split this back section into 3. So if I was doing a real classic half head or alternative half head, then I would split the back. But in this case, we're going to work with a bit of a shadow technique during our glow treatment. So you don't really need to worry too much about this. Let's fold that end down. Get plenty of product. Let's wrap those ends in. And of course you could take your foils a little bit longer. Everyone has their own preference. I personally prefer not going too long because it can be quite challenging to fold. But of course it's down to each user's preference. Just fold that a little bit less so it's less bulky. And let's just fold those ends in. So you can probably guess what I'm going to do next, right? I'm sure this is how easy it is. Sometimes we're so good at overcomplicating it. Now what we're going to do is quite simply alternate between both of the mixtures, exactly the same as what I've just shown you. Of course, we're not coloring this zone here. So I'm going to leave you. I'm going to finish off this and I'll show you the final result. Well, the final result with the color in. I will see you very shortly. Ta-da! Look at that. We are finitos. So we're now going to allow this to develop. Well, actually, I lie, because there was something you didn't see. In between all the foils, I wanted to still kind of frame the ends of the hair a bit more. So we've still got the weave breaking up the root area, but through the ends, what we did was I used the remaining cream blonde and we worked by just feathering the left out or the remaining hair and just built up the color through the ends. So we're going to end up with like this very soft block around the front with these beautiful highlights kind of popping out. I think it's going to look beautiful. Question you might have is, well, what on earth is this? Well, maybe I can come a little bit closer. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? Yes. There we go. Look at this bad boy. So the after blonde treatment. Well, later you're going to hear a bit more about the glow treatment. What we're going to do is we're actually going to rinse this off, and then we're going to proceed with the glow treatment, and we'll show you the end result. And typically, what I will say is typically we would use the after color balm, but we're actually going to use our brand new ultimate blonde. So I'm super excited. And you might be thinking, is it different? What's the different ratios? Don't forget, we have the bond fuser technology in the cream blonde. The same technology runs through in the treatment. When we do the glow service, it's 1:1:1, but Robin will tell you more about that later on. So we're really optimizing the technology and the benefits inside of the product. I'm going to just very quickly do a little turn so you see everything before I leave. So, like so. Isn't that beautiful? So foils, freehand, and we've got that beautiful diamond shape through the top. We've not touched the top whatsoever. And with the glow, we're going to really connect everything together in the final result. So, are you excited? I am as well. Hope you are. See you in a bit. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to talk you through what we've done with the process and just do a little recap. First question is, do you like it?
I love it.
Fantastic. I think it's really beautiful, and I hope you guys love it as well. So, just a quick recap. We took our inspiration from the 90s and working with this idea of really a focal point through the front with like an internal highlight through the underneath. If you recall from earlier, we used the cream blonde, 2 different mixtures, one with 10 volumes and the cool booster. So after a little bit of neutralizing through the lifting process, and then also the cream blonde with 20 volumes. And then within the area left out of that diamond, what we did was a little bit of a freehand technique, still using the cream blonde, to create this beautiful build-up of color through the ends. I think you'll agree with me, the shine is quite incredible, right? Well, what we did here was we used the glow treatment from Semi-Color. Of course, you know, this is a perfect tool to go alongside our blondes. So what we did was we worked with a root application, 881, 3/4 of the 881 and 1/4 of the 72, just to add a little bit of control to the color. Then through the ends, we did 932 and the beige. We worked actually half and half with the 2 to create this beautiful biscuit color. Now, this is the part I'm really proud of. Are you ready? I'm going to turn my model around, because if you look, you can see there's a little bit of something happening through here. And if I move the hair around a bit, you can see that there's something happening, but let's put the hair up. Now, if you know me very well, hair up is not my forte, so I'm going to do a fake ponytail. Wish me luck. I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to twist this. Sorry if my arm is in the way. And look at that. And if I just turn the chair, and I'm going to pull this up as well, you see you've got these beautiful flecks of color shining through. Isn't that beautiful? So we've got this idea with the color technique where if you put the hair up, it completely changes the dynamic and the effect compared to if you have it down. And I think you'll agree, it looks super beautiful. And if we play with the parting and move this around a bit, there's this beautiful dynamic effect with the result. So, I hope you liked it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've taken something away from this technique and, of course, the recipe for the salon. Thanks again, and see you soon.
Hi, my name is Robin and today I'm going to show you the trend, the Platinum Glow. As you can see here on the models, this is a very nice platinum color. Well, of course, this is a color for everyone, and it's not only a color that we are seeing now, we've been seeing it for a very long time. Well, I'm really in love with this trend because, well, as I said, it is for everyone, and I think it suits every person, every skin tone. So, today, we have this lovely model, Dimitri, which I'm going to show you. Well, this is my lovely model, Dimitri. And well, he was very excited to be a blonde as well. Now he has like totally natural hair, which, well, lucky for me, of course. I'm going to lift him with the power blonde because as you can see, the hair is quite dark. And I saw this amazing trick with Irene, and I'm hoping that this works as well. So, well, that actually worked. Well, of course, in real life, there are no such thing as magic tricks. So for my model, Dimitri, I have used the new Power Blonde, the Ultimate Blonde Power Blonde with the new integrated bond fuser technology. Of course, the color is already very pretty because with the new Power Blonde, we can lift up to 9 levels, which is amazing, of course. And the color is, well, I think already very good, but we wanted to have our nice platinum glow. So that is why I picked the color from the treatment, the semi-color treatment, we are using the glow treatment. You've already noticed from the new semi. And now we are using it with the ultimate blonde after blonde treatment. So it's even more nourishing for the hair. And also it has the integrated blonde fuser technology. Okay, I'm going to turn my model a little bit. And we start applying the product, of course, on wet hair. Towel dry hair, because we just rinsed out all our product. We treated it with the after blonde treatment. And now we are applying the semi-color glow surface. The colors that I'm using, of course, we still see a little bit of the yellow in the hair, is the 1017 from the semi-color, and I use the 971, also from the new color range. Well, because we wanted to have the color, of course, a little bit more platinum, and we don't want to have it too much violet. We are going to stand by the color because this is a very quick surface and very nice to use in the salon. You can leave it in for up to 5 minutes. Of course, if we think that the color needs to be in a little bit longer or we need a little bit more neutralizing, of course, we can leave the color in for a little bit longer. In a maximum of 20 minutes. Well, also one of the nice things about the glow treatment now is that I use the after blonde treatment or new treatment, which I'm a very big fan of, with the integrated blonde fuser technology, which is also more nourishing for the hair and especially for our blonde surfaces. So I'm starting in the back, and of course I'm going to continue to put it on the whole hair. Afterwards I will show you the end results. Now we will let this process. As you know, I chose for the semi-color glow treatment, which is on a mixing ratio of 1 part of the semi-color, 1 part of the after-color blonde treatment, and 1 part of the semi-activator. The nice thing is that we can leave it in for 5, 10 or 20 minutes. And of course we use the after-color blonde treatment. The reason why? Because we are working on a blonde base. I will be back to you with the final result.
Yes, we did it!
We did a great job, right?
I think so. I hope you agree with us. So today we presented to you 3 looks. We were showcasing, what was it exactly?
All blondes.
Absolutely. Remember, we're talking about summer here, so blondes are the center of the story. So I hope you enjoyed it. Now, talking of the topic of blondes, we have a special guest, right?
Yes, we have our next webinar, which will be like by the king of blondes.
Absolutely, live from Brazil, our wonderful Tiago, the king of the blondes. So we're going to continue that narrative, and don't forget, everything that you've seen today, if you want to watch it again, don't forget to check out our on-demand link. So thank you so much. Thank you, Robin.
Well, thank all of you, and have a very nice day.
See you soon.